Test your age. Can you hear the dog whistle? If you're above 35, chances are you can. I've done a few presentations on gaslighting, namely the psychological tactic of making people think that they're wrong when in fact they're not. Our media, for example, is little more than electronic gaslighting. Case in point, journalist Peter Bright. As someone named Dr. Pizza, I dread to think what my involvement in Pizzagate will turn out to be. Followed soon thereafter by tech reporter Peter Bright found guilty of soliciting minors for sex online. So he actually was guilty of things that people imputed to him. He tried to cast off the cloud of suspicion by mocking the individuals who were correctly onto him. You can see the same tactic on display in this 1983 broadcast of CNN's Crossfire. In it, Congressman Larry McDonald, who had just become the head of the John Birch Society, was correctly warning Americans of the dangers posed by groups subverting our government and culture. One of the hosts, namely Tom Braden, is trying to discredit McDonald to his audience. His method is to make him seem unhinged by using the term conspiracy over and over. Watch here.
Well, Mr. McDonald, I'm not a conspirator. I think even Buchanan would vouch for that.
Well, you are.
Robert
Wilson.
Robert Wilson. No, I don't think so. Yeah, I'm a member of the Council on Foreign Relations. Is that a conspiracy?
You've certainly.
Let me just tell you what Newsweek says this. The John Birch Society considers communism only one arm of a master conspiracy in which socialist American insiders are plotting to establish world government.
I suggest that you read the May-June issue of the Partisan Review of 1947, Tom, and you can read it for yourself. It's called
That's the place you said there was a conspiracy? A conspiracy to promote communism?
He didn't use the word conspiracy. He said the objective
was to bring about...
Well, let me finish. I'll tell you. He said that the objective, the secret policy, which we can't tell the American public because they're not sophisticated enough to see the value, is that through a steady result of erosion of New Deals, we bring the American society steadily to the left. All right. And through a sound concept of benign containment, we merge into the vital center of the socialist left. Those are his words, not mine.
You think John Kennedy was a member of that conspiracy?
No, let me ask you this.
NATO is part of the conspiracy? Let me ask you about this conspiracy again.
Well, you can take the...
Do you think that's a result of the conspiracy you mentioned? Is there somebody working on them to get the inflation so that this country will be weakened? I've known Bill Casey, the director of CIA, since World War II. As a matter of fact, in World War II, he was my boss. Now, your public relations director, the John Birch Society, says that Bill Casey is a part of this conspiracy that's trying to bring about world government.
Helping to finance
Is the Export-Import Bank part of the conspiracy?
Oh, he's been using the term conspiracy.
No, I didn't use it. For heaven's sake, Pat. The John Birch Society used it.
I don't want to go through the tapes.
Well, it is. Don't blame it on me. He used it.
You've used it 45 times.
That's right. They say this is a conspiracy. I want to know what the conspiracy is. I'm trying to find out who's in it and what agencies of government in it, because I want to fight it along with you. Pat a member of the conspiracy? He's a member of the press.
Let me ask you. Mr. Braden's used for the 47th time the term conspiracy.
Note two things in the interview. One, Braden mentioned that he used to be in the CIA working under William Casey. And two, he asked if journalists were part of the conspiracy. In answer to that, yes. In fact, the CIA had a program by which its operatives infiltrated the media. It was called Operation Mockingbird. Who ran the CIA's Operation Mockingbird? Why, none other than Tom Braden himself. In a write-up on his CIA activities, his bio adds, these various programs eventually coalesced into a larger coordinated campaign to influence international organizations, especially through media relations. In this regard, while head of the IOD, Braden played an important role in formally establishing this campaign as Operation Mockingbird. Many years later, he revealed his role in these events. Braden talked about his extensive work for the CIA and his management of Operation Mockingbird in his autobiography. Yet there he is on his show, Crossfire, trying to convince the audience that heroic patriot Larry McDonald was a crazy paranoid for warnings that now seem more than prescient. They seem downright prophetic. Everything he and the John Birch Society told the public about, based on scrupulous documentation, proved to be accurate. Yet the media's job was to gaslight the public, foster apathy and inaction, like the proverbial frog in the slowly boiling pot of water. Their goal was to run out the clock. Needless to say, intelligence agencies don't see the media as the public does. As journalist Walter Cronkite said, the media is there not to reflect public opinion, it's there to shape it. And that's how the CIA saw the press. By the way, speaking of Operation Mockingbird, I always wondered what type of bird the Twitter mascot was. I'll never have Alex Newman's full head of hair. I'll never be as tall as Alex Newman. I'll never write as good as he does. Look, I'll never be Alex Newman. I can accept that now. Why can't you? If you love the guy so much, go watch his show, Behind the Deep State. It's kind of an antidote to the Operation Mockingbird stuff that we were talking about here. Also check out his articles on thenewamerican.com and his great piece in our bookazine, Trump World.